Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to Game 3 of this best of 3. It is between GL Snute, the red Zerg player in the right position, who is up against Welmu, the blue Protoss in the bottom position, and well, Game 1 and 2 have been pretty spectacular, I'm not gonna lie. Mainly due to the fact that Welmu has been happy to switch up his builds, Game 1 going for that 1 gate expansion, Game 2 instead going for a Nexus first, Forge Fast expand, followed up with Stargate and Phoenix harassment, which Snute thought he dealt with amazingly but wasn't prepared for the follow-up Blinkstalker aggression, which just completely destroyed him. Snute, he played well, he put up a good defense, Infestors popping up a few moments too late in my opinion, and as a result there was not enough supporting army in the means of roaches and zerglings, and Welmu just warped in successfully, pushed forward, had good micro, and as a result took Game 2 to level the series up 1 apiece. So, what has Game 3 got in store? Well, firstly, it is of course on Metropolis. We do have the pylon coming down here. I'm expecting to see Welmu go for a full wall off. The reason being is you can just knock out these rocks later when you want to move. So definitely a full wall off is something that Welmu seems to like. In Game 2 we saw it, so he's very, very happy with that. In Game 1 we also saw the full wall off actually. So definitely wants to be careful not to take any early aggression. And this scout coming out quite a bit later actually for Welmu at the moment. In Game 1 and 2 we saw that scout come quite a bit sooner, obviously seeing the fact that the spawning pool was on its way down. Instead, this game just getting a few more minerals out. The Overlord coming through. I do believe it was spotted yesterday. The Overlord can be seen there, so of course that's great news for him. He now knows exactly where his opponent is anyway. And Metropolis is a good map for Protoss in my opinion, purely based on the fact that they can get this comfortable natural. For Zerg, the third base can be a little bit awkward, and the reason for that is due to this little space where, depending on where the Protoss army comes from, if these rocks haven't been taken out, you can push through with your force and you can get some good force fields down here, completely stopping reinforcements coming in and really separating the Zerg's main and natural from its third, and with that you can happily pick it off. And of course a lot of the Protoss play revolves around, especially the two base plays, revolves around taking out this third base. The downside to that of course is though that the retreat paths can't be too good, because once the Zerg gets in here you really are trapped. But what's this, Welmu? What are you doing with this little probe hiding in the corner? Little probes hiding in the corner are always scary because they can sometimes mean that you're going to be getting down pylons, maybe cannons or anything like that. But it seems I was wrong, we're not going to get a full wall off here. Instead, we're just going to get the probe, completing it. The Overlord scouting out all the timing, sees the forge is finished, knows of course that it was a forge first, then into the Nexus, so that's good news. This probe still just chilling down here, and the Overlord on its way across should be able to scout that nicely. The third base for Snute just after the 4-minute mark, but Welmu is not going to be able to now force the block, although actually he does, because Snute didn't shut down the hatchery quite in time. So straight away the pylon block comes down. That is going to disrupt Snute's play, not by a huge amount, but this pylon block is definitely going to be frustrating. The two Zerglings are on their way over. We've got 2 more in production. Obviously this forces Snute to bank up a few more minerals, and we're delaying this by quite a long period of time already. Looking here, the pylon is going to be allowed to finish up, and we're already a good 40 seconds after. There goes a gateway as well, so Welmu definitely focused on preventing his opponent from being able to do anything. And it looks like we also had an Overlord taken out here. So, oh no, we didn't. We just have Snoot's supply blocked. That's fine. I was trying to work out how he managed to do that there, but then obviously it was extractor tricks, or must have been, or something. But anyway, as we can see, this is now over an entire minute of a delay on this third base rather, for Snute. The cancel goes down on the gateway, so all in all that costs 137 minerals in order to delay this expansion by a good like minute 20 seconds. So that is great news. The pylon now coming down as well, and the Overlord does not scout it. This is going to be absolutely catastrophic once these cannons come down. Welmu clearly does not want this third base. Looking what he's got back at home, he's only just getting his cyber core finishing up now. He's got the 2 gas. The Overlord getting a good look, wants to see, hey, what's going on? But here's the pylon finished. Where are the cannons going to come? Well, the probe is getting selected. It should be hitting any second. There we go. 1 cannon hits. Are we going to see just the 1 cannon? Maybe 2 cannons? We'll wait and see. If you chuck another cannon down there, you of course protect this pylon incredibly well from any Zerglings. But Snute has no clue this is going down. This is going to be so frustrating for him. because this third base is going to take a lot of damage. There's no Roach-on or anything like that yet. It won't be down for a long time. We're only hitting 640 now, so it's really on the earlier side. You'll be getting that Roach-on, which means Zerglings alone are going to struggle a lot to deal with these two cannons, but straight away the cannon starts hitting the hatchery, the second cannon finishing up, and this is the point where Snute may use some choice language. If I was playing, I certainly would be. The third cannon now being added on. This third base is gone. There's no way you're going to be able to save that now, especially with the third cannon on its way. Lair timing coming down. So what can you do in this situation? Well, we straight away see Snute grabbing his third and fourth gas. He's got the potential, of course, to consider getting up Mutas, but Snute coming down here looking like, hey, well, I could try and take my fourth base position, so at least I get my third up. The cancel goes down on that cannon as well. That's a good choice. More Zerglings being forced. Back home for Welmu, he's getting up a second cannon because a counter-attack is the likely action. If you know this has gone down, you know your opponent has spent 400 minerals getting this. As a result, they're not going to have quite as many units, so perhaps a direct counter-attack could be an option. But since we're not seeing a Roach Warren, then we've got the double Evo coming down, so lots of upgrades are going to be there as an option. We've got now the third base getting retaken in the fourth position for Snute. The downside to this, though, is ultimately that, hey, if I'm trying to take my third base and my fourth, it's even further away from my natural main. That could expose me a little more. Here comes down the Rotary one. The 1-1 upgrades are on their way, so clearly Snute going for an upgrade heavy build. He's getting the infestation pit down as well, so Ling Infester with some roaches thrown in as well. The good upgrades. We've got the Twilight Council now yet again from Welmu, so that I love. Obviously it opens up the option for Blink, it opens up the option for, well, he's up for 4 gas, so it's hypothetically possible he could go for DTs. He's got a lot of gas banked up, so we'll see. Straight away going down for Blink though, so that is fine. And in this situation, I mean, DTs aren't necessarily a bad choice because obviously Snute hasn't got this base down yet. If you came and harassed it with DTs, there's not going to be Spore Callers for a while. That's going to be a pain. Zealots just coming in and being even more irritating, and this kind of irritating play, even though you're not doing huge amounts of damage anyway. I mean, yes, you picked off a hatchery with a cannon rush, but ultimately you're throwing your opponent off. Then all of Snute's timings are now completely wrong. If we look at his work count, he's only at 55 at just before the 10-minute mark. I mean, it's not uncommon to see Zerg players maxing out on Roachling at this point, so production definitely hurt massively, income hurt massively, and as a result, Welmu's just happily going about what he wants. The creep is generated by the Overlord there, the third base, denying that coming down. But as we can see, just the Stalker's coming out, Blink's still coming out. We've got the Overseer here, is going to try and get sniped. This Twilight Council has not been seen, so again, Snute is limited on the information he's got available to him. The Changeling now dying as well. We've got some more gateways being added on. That takes us up to 8 gate. So 8 gate is going to be able to do a lot of potential harassment. We've got some more Stalkers warping in with the cannon there as well. They're going to have an okay time in pretty much the best position they could be in order to engage. The Zergling is able to get the absolute minimal engagement angle, which is good. The surface area minimized, but of course with the Roach supporting, that's fine. The third base for Snute now is up and running. He's up to the 58 workers, but look at this counter, this follow-up push from Welmu after that aggression. He's in a nice spot. He's completing the wall off. He's got yet more Stalkers on their way through. Some Zerglings are going to spot this push coming. That is brilliant for Snute. It means he's going to be able to get out a lot more Zerglings. The Infestors, rather 3 additional Infestors about to come out for him, and that is going to help. The fungal growth is going to be essential. This pylon may get sniped out by Snute. That would prevent the reinforcements, which are going to be oh so important, but in comes the army from Snute. He's trying to come forward, but good force fields block out a lot of it. Fungal growths are hitting the Stalkers for the moment, though. That, of course, is denying the Blink micro availability. A cancel force on that pylon there, and as a result, Snute has held off this push for a while, which is precisely what he wants to do. He's buying himself time in order to get more units out. The Roach numbers are slowly going up. He's trying to pick off these rocks to reduce any force field potential, make a more open space for himself, and more fungal growths hitting. Force fields are good. He's preventing lots of Snute's army from engaging. Welmu blinking back as well. These Infestors starting to get low on energy. There are 2 fungal growths remaining at a quick glance, but as we can see, Welmu, he's biding his time. He's waiting to get the force he needs up, getting a lot more Zealots in here as well now, ready to deal with the high Zergling count, of course the perceived high Zergling count, but in comes Snute yet again, a blink back, but unfortunately a great fungal from Snute allows a lot of those Stalkers to get cleaned up effectively. The Zergling, Zealots coming into the roaches, but as we can see, a blink forward picks off a infestor very quickly. A fungal growth does go down though from one which has just been produced. Some infested Terrans on the way. Snute looking to be in a good position. He's going to be able to hold this now with some good timing, with some good engagement times, and as a result, he's not out of the woods yet by any means. Welmu is still applying that pressure. The infested Terrans are buying Snute yet more time to get out more units, but Snute, he's banking up an awful lot of minerals at the moment. His lava are pretty low looking things. He's only got 2 out, so that is the problem from not having your third base. We can see no injects going down at the third. He built in the 4th position either, so without those lava, obviously Welmu is going to be in a stronger place than before. Some more infestors getting taken out. A fungal growth hitch yet again though. The sentry count is at 0, which means no force fields, allowing these speedlings to surround. 1-1 is done for those against the 2-0 for Welmu. But, well, as we can see, Queen's taking some damage. Welmu now moving back ASAP. He sees those infestors. There are 3, now 5 more in production, so that means more fungal growths. And the fungal growths are really what are allowing Snute to stay in this for the time being. The Stalkers back forward yet again. Some more blinks coming down, trying to clear out as much of these roaches and zerglings as possible. And if he does deal with a good number of them before the infestors hit, then he should be okay, because the infestors alone with fungal growth won't be able to hold it off. But of course, still some roaches and zerglings remain. 6 more roaches in production, and this is some solid engagements from both players. And Welmu doing a great job of applying the aggression. Snute doing a great job of holding off the aggression. Now getting these injects going, and that is so critical. But all in all, I would now say Snute is ahead. He's got the better tech for the time being. His upgrades are going nicely. He's getting the +2 out. +2 armor out. He obviously has 1-1 melee upgrades, and Welmu with the 2-0 upgrades. He's now getting the +3 ground weapons. Picking off the Overlord, ready to expand to his third, which is his only option. He has to take that third base due to the fact that his aggression didn't do enough damage. But this is the problem. Snute now gearing up with an absolutely massive force. Welmu is going to have to do an absolutely incredible defense right now. He's going to have to really utilize his army to the best effect. Due to the fact fungal growths are there, if he splits his Stalkers up, he should be in a better spot, but of course that increases the surface area for the speedlings. He's preemptively splitting his army, trying to get the better attack arc, but it looks like the natural is going to be the target from Snute right now. We may see some infested Terrans lobbed over, and that is precisely what's going to go down. As we can see, the wall off now broken. We've got so many infested Terran eggs on the field, and suddenly we've got Welmu in a situation where he is looking to take an awful lot of pain, and he's trying his best to hold it off the force fields, denying the roaches from coming in. He cleans out the infested Terrans ASAP. Some good fungal growths going down, but the roach numbers starting to look a little bit small. Welmu slowly moving forward, allowing the Zealots to tank up a lot of the force. The infestors run back, sacrificing the roaches, because ultimately you need to keep your infestors up for as long as possible. A fungal growth is probably about to hit though, and well, it doesn't actually. It looks like a full retreat is in order. The infestors having to try and run back. If you lose those infestors, you could run into problems, but a good blink forward, as we can see there from Snute. He gets 2 infestors before the fungal growth does go down, but still another good blink, and so much damage being done here by Welmu. But in come a lot of speedlings. Snute deciding though he doesn't have the critical mass that he needs to engage this at the moment. The infestor energy getting a bit low, the infestor count getting a bit low as well. Meanwhile, Snute does have his 4th base up, so all in all, it is going to be a 3-base Protoss once this is up against a 4-base Zerg. But for the moment, Snute is 2 bases up. The second robotics facility is in production, as well as the robotics bay somewhere. Not quite sure where that is. There we go. So, again, Welmu teching up to Colossi. Something you've got to be doing in this situation. This gateway-only force isn't going to hold much longer. As Snute's production really starts ramping up, and when we consider he's still only just hitting the 70 drone mark, he's hitting the point where he can start producing an awful lot awfully quickly. Start thinking about maxing out. His upgrades are looking good as well. He's got +2 carapace, the +2 missile attack, the +2 ground attack rather, just finishing up, and the +1 missile attack about a quarter finish. Meanwhile, Welmu is sitting there only on the 2-0 upgrades. Of course, the Forge was sniped out very effectively, denying the +3. That means, of course, the Welmu's upgrade advantage has disappeared. It is now Snute's upgrade advantage very, very solidly. He's coming across with a lot of units. He's got a great supply advantage, as we can see straight away, about 50 supply. Army supply-wise, 110 to 73. This is going to be a tough hold from Welmu, but then so was the last engagement, and Welmu did well there. So, what is he going to do? How is he going to try and engage? As we see the rocks getting taken out, double Colossi are in production. If they hit, Welmu is going to be in a much more solid position, but if Snute pushes in before then, which it appears like he's planning on doing, this could be big problems. Of course, those Colossi are still 15 seconds away. The fungal growth's going. Welmu needs to buy himself a lot of time. The sentry count, though, exceptionally low. Just 1 sentry on the field right now. The fungal growths are just chipping away at the army. Here it goes. A big engage moving in. A lot of fungal growth hitting. A couple of infested terrans coming out. But here come the Colossi. They may be able to save the day, but to be honest, Snute, he is sitting there with an awful lot of units. The Stalker count is dropping ever so rapidly. As we can see, huge numbers of infested terrans are out. Snute is absolutely ploughing forward, and we've got Welmu really on the ropes now. He's trying his best. He's microing those Colossi back, trying to stop them going down, because of course they could be the one thing that can help him right now. But the Roach is pushing forward, trying to snipe it. A fungal growth hits them. The Roaches clean up one of the Colossi straight away. The remaining Colossus is still down. The infested Terrans clean that out, and that will be the GG. Snute maxed out, and that means Snute takes this series 2-1 in what were some absolutely fantastic games. I love them. So if you all did enjoy, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and make sure you leave a cool comment. Let me know what you think of the players, the game, the casting, anything like that. Also, if you use Twitter at MadalsSC2, send me a tweet. But I will catch you all tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.